What is going on, guys? In this video we are going to create a complete and fully functionable meeting application. Like we have Google Meet, Microsoft Meet, Zoom. So this is the homepage of our application where we can give the username and click on create meeting. So this will create a new meeting for us. Also in another device we can give the meeting ID, username and click on join meeting. As you can see over here, we are in the meeting. We can turn off the video, we can mute, unmute, we can turn off the speaker, we can switch the camera, we can have chat also, and we can leave the meeting. So this is the complete application we are going to create. So for making this application, we are using ZEGOCLOUD Services, which is a global communication service provider. So with ZEGOCLOUD, we can build powerful interaction app with voice and video chat API. So this has lots of product, as you can see, voice call, video call, live streaming, in-app chat and lots of product. And also in developer section we have documentation, UI kits. So by writing less line of code, we can integrate the ZEGOCLOUD service. So in this video we are going to use video conference service. So let's get started with new Android Studio project. Select new project. Let's select empty activity, that is Jetpack compose activity. Click on next. Let's give the application name Easy Meet. Minimum SDK let it be 8.0. Build configuration language let it be the recommended one. Click on finish. It will take some time to create our project. Let's go to ZEGOCLOUD.com and create the project over there. ZEGOCLOUD.com. So here you can see login and sign up. You can click on sign up and you can create your account over here. But I have already created, so I will do login. So here you can see this is the dashboard. From here you can create new project. Let's click on create a project. I'll click it. We have to select a use case for our app. For this application we are using video conference, so let's select video conference and go to the bottom, click on next over here and you can give project name over here. Let's say Easy Meet and you can see we have two ways to get started. We have UI kits, also we have SDKs. So you can integrate any one of these. With UI kit we don't have to write lots of code. With SDK you can write your code and customize your UI, but we are using UI kits for the simplicity. So here you can see we have different platforms. iOS, web, React Native, Android. We are using Android. So let's click on start with UI kits. So it will take some time to create our project. So our project is created. Now we can build our app. So here we'll select for Android. You can see over here we have different options, face beautification, premium also, screen sharing, everything we can enable. We have to pay for it, but this is the free features. And at the bottom over here, click on save and start integration. Click on it. Now you can see we can start building our application. So first thing you will see over here is the app ID and app sign. These are required to put in our application. Without these we can't connect our Android Studio project to this project. Let's store this in our application. So first I will copy app ID, go to our application. In the package, I will create a new file, that will be Kotlin file, which will be the object. Let's say app constants we can use over here. So value app ID, let's give the name. It will be of type long and we'll paste it. Also we have to store app sign, so it will be string. Let's copy app sign from here and paste it over here. Now we can close this. Now we have added the app ID and app sign. Let's click on quick start. Before adding anything, what I will do, our project is created successfully. I will run the application and see either it is created correctly or not. So let's run the application in the emulator. So we can see hello Android over here. That means it is working correctly. Let's get back to the ZEGOCLOUD. Here we have quick start. So we have to follow some steps. To integrate the SDK, we have to add these configurations. So to add the dependency for the ZEGOCLOUD, we have to add this. So let's copy these two lines and go to settings.gradle. It is Gradle. We have settings.gradle.kts. So here you can paste it inside this dependency resolution management repositories. Since it is KTS, we have to pass it in a parameter and string format. So URL you can pass like this. Now we have added this. If your Android Gradle plugin is earlier than 7.1.0, you can use this. We don't have to. And second thing, we have to add this dependency in our app level build.gradle. So let's copy this as well. Go to app level build.gradle, that is this. This is also KTS file. Paste it over here and we have to give it in a string format like this and like this. So instead of this plus, we will give latest dot release. So it will get the latest released version. Click on sync now. It will download the code. You can see over here in the build, it is downloading. It will take some time to download. So our build is successful. That means it is downloaded correctly. You can close this Gradle files. Now let's get back to the ZEGOCLOUD. Here you can see we have added the library. Now we require following things. You can see we have added app ID, we have added app sign, we require conference ID. So what is the conference ID? It is the ID that is the unique for the room, for the conference room. So it will be the meeting ID. User ID, is required. For every user it should be unique. Username is also required. So this user ID and username from where we will get. So if you are integrating this in your existing application, you already have user ID and username of the user. If you are creating new application, you have to integrate the login using Firebase or Google, Facebook, anything you can do, but you should have unique user ID and username. So for this video, we'll create the simple login page which will take the user ID from the user itself. So let's do that first. So let's get back to the project. Let's remove this greeting composable. Also remove this from here. I'll create a login page. So for that, what I will do, I'll go to the package, new Kotlin class file. I'll call it as login page. It will be a file. I'll create a composable that will be login page. And from main activity, I'll call this login page and I'll pass the modifier as modifier equals to modifier dot padding. That will be inner padding. That's it. Now, whenever we run the application, it will run from here. We can test it like text. This is login page. If I run now, you can see we have login page. We have not added modifier. That's why it is showing over here. So let's remove this. Now let's create a column over here. And in the column, let's pass the modifier. Modifier equals to modifier dot modifier equals to this modifier will take modifier dot we'll make it full max size and we'll add some background color. So what will be the background color? You can choose your own color. So let's go to colors over here in the resource values colors. Here we have different color. Let's create a new color. I'll duplicate this one and here I will give my background and here I can choose any colors I want. So here material 800, I will select this one. You can add any color code for your application. Let's close this and here I can use background as color resource. From color resource we will take r.color.my background. Now it will take this background. Let's run and test. You can see we have nice background and it is looking good. Now in this column we will add some items. First it will be our application name, that will be easy meet, which will come over here, and below we will add the input box for meeting ID, join meeting, everything. So here I will create a box. Let's add modifier equals to modifier dot fill max size dot weight. We will give one floating point so that it will take the available space. So here we'll give text, that will be easy meet. If I run now, return, you can see over here easy meet. Now I will style this. So I'll put it on separate line. I'll give material theme dot typography dot headline large so that it will be large. Color I will give color dot white and text align center, let's say, and we will center it. We'll center it also. So modifier dot alignment dot center. Now it will be aligned to the center. Let's run and test. You can see since we don't have anything, that's why it is in center. Below also I will add a box so that we can add different items over there. So this box, after this box I'll add a box and I will make a space from here. So here also I will give modifier equals to modifier dot fill max width. So we'll take full width and I will make a rounded corner from here so that it will look good for the box. So I will say clip, give the shape rounded corner shape. I will give shape to the top start 32.dp and top end also 32.dp so that it will be rounded from top start and top end, not the bottom. And give background color dot white dot padding around 32.dp. Now this box will be visible after we add the item, and inside this I will use column so that I can add multiple items. So here first item will be text field. So outline text field. So we need to pass value and on value change. So we will create a value to store the meeting ID. First thing will be meeting ID. Second thing will be username and join meeting and create meeting button. So for the meeting ID, I will create a variable to store the meeting ID, which will be input by the user. So variable, let's say meeting ID by, remember, we'll create a mutable state of empty string. So let's import getter and setter. And also second value I will create, that will be username, or you can say user ID, whatever you want to say. So here in value I will give meeting ID, and on value change I will give meeting ID equals to it. That's it. I'll put it on separate line. So if I run now, you can see over here we have text field and we can add meeting ID over here. Let's add label as well. So label text and we'll call it meeting ID. Modifier, we'll give modifier dot fill max width so that it will take full width, and also meeting ID will only be the number. So we'll add keyboard options dot default dot copy. So we'll pass keyboard type, that will be keyboard type dot number, so that user can only input number over here, not the characters. So if I run now, you can see I can input numbers. Also I want to make it will take only 10 character, not more than that. Right now it will take lots of character. You can make it 10 character or 5 character fix. For that what I will do, if here on value change, if it dot length is less than equal to 10, if it is less than equal to 10, then only add to the meeting ID, otherwise not. So now if you run, it will not take more than 10 character. 0, it will not take. So our meeting ID field is done. Now what I will do, I will copy this and add another field. Let's copy this outline text field and add another field below. It will be username. Username equals to it. We don't have to give the character length. Username can be any character. So let's remove this, and here we will give your name as the label, and keyboard option is not required. If I run now, you can see we have meeting ID, your name. Let's give gap over here. For the column we will give vertical arrangement dot spaced by let's say 16.dp, so that we will have 16 dp gap in each items. Now below this we will add 2 buttons. That will be, first button will be, we will have on click. Right now let's leave it like this. Modifier equals to modifier dot fill max width. Let's put it on separate line, and I will give colors. That will be same this background, so that it will look uniform. So button defaults dot button colors. Here we can give container color as from color resource r dot color dot my background, and the text will be, first button will be join meeting. Run now. You can see we have join meeting button. Now let's copy this button, and below this create another button. That will be create meeting. Now you can see we have meeting ID, your name, join meeting, create meeting. So we have to do something when we click over here. Also what we will do, right now meeting ID is not there. So for join meeting we require meeting ID and username. For create meeting we require only the username. So these buttons will be enabled only when we enter the meeting ID and username. So what we will do, in the button I will add enabled parameter. So button will enable join button only when meeting ID dot length is equals to 10, and also we require username. So username dot length is greater than equals to 3. So username should be at least 3 characters. So let's add that logic. So if meeting ID is equals to 10 and then username is greater than 3, then only join meeting will be enabled. So let's test this. So here join meeting is disabled. If I add meeting ID, let's say 10 character, now also it is not enabled. So if I write something username, let's say Tony, now join button is enabled. Now for create meeting we require only username. So what we will do here, enabled equals to username dot length is greater than equals to 3. So if we have username, then create meeting button will be enabled. Right now if you write username, then it will be enabled. So this is fine. So our login page is almost complete. We have to add on click on this join meeting and create meeting, because we want to pass this conference ID, that is meeting ID, user ID and username, to this activity. So where is this activity? We have to create this conference activity. So let's first create conference activity, which will not be a Jetpack Compose activity. It will be a XML activity. So what we will do, so we'll also get to know how we can call another activity from Jetpack Compose. So here we'll create new activity. Let's select empty views activity and we'll name it conference activity. Click on finish. So whenever we use views in the Jetpack Compose, we have to add the theme. So let's go to themes.xml first and add the theme over here. So style, let's give theme dot my theme. We can give any name. Parent will be theme dot material components dot day night dot no action bar. This theme we will use in any activity we create new. So in Android manifest, here for this conference activity, theme will be my theme. Style theme dot my. Now you can close these themes. Now we have conference activity. On click of this join meeting or create a meeting, we'll go to conference activity and we'll pass the values like meeting ID and your name. So what I will do, I'll go to login page now. First we'll do for a create meeting, so that without creating meeting we can't join. So let's do create meeting. On click, what we will do, for creating in the meeting we require a meeting ID. So we are not taking it from user, we will create a random meeting ID. So what we will do, we will create a random meeting ID. So random meeting ID, let's say. You can add your own logic to create the meeting ID. So what I will do, so we'll run a loop from range from 1 to 10. It will run 10 times and we'll map. So we will take value from 0 to 9 dot random. So what it will do, it will loop from 1 to 10 and it will take any one value from 0 to 9. It will do 10 times. We will do over here dot join to string, so that it will join separator will be empty string. Now from this we'll get the 10-digit random meeting ID. So we have the meeting ID, we have the username. Now we can go to conference activity and pass this value. To pass the values I will use intent. So value intent equals to intent. For intent we require context. So from where we'll get the context? Here I will create a value for the context. Context equals to local context dot current. Now here intent from context to conference activity dot class dot java. We will put values, put extra. We will give the key, let's say meeting ID, and we will pass the random meeting ID. Also intent dot put extra. We will give user name and we will give the username. So from this login page we are just passing meeting ID, that is random, and we are passing the username that is given by the user to the conference activity. This is context dot start activity and we'll pass this intent. Now we'll go to conference activity when we click on create meeting. Let's run and test either it is working or not. So let's give username something, whatever, just create meeting. So you can see we are in new activity, that is conference activity. If I click on back, we are in main activity. Click on this, we are in the conference activity. Value are also getting passed, so we can check that later. Now same thing we will do for join meeting as well. For join meeting we don't have to get the random meeting ID, we'll get it from this input. So here I'll copy this same, I'll paste it over here, and instead of this random meeting ID I will do meeting ID. That's it. So for join we'll take the meeting ID, for creating we'll just making the random meeting ID. That's it. This is the logic of this login page. We are taking meeting ID, we are taking username, that's it. Now let's go to conference activity and design that. So first thing what we will do, I will go to activity conference, that is the XML. So here you can make your fragment anywhere where you want to show the UI for the meet, where there are video of people, mute button, everything. We have to just pass the fragment to the ZEGOCLOUD. What you can do, you can give full screen also, but what I will do, I will show meeting ID over here and the share button, and I will give the remaining fragment to the ZEGOCLOUD. So here what I will do, I will make it first linear layout, and here orientation will be vertical. Now here first thing I will do, I will add relative layout and add meeting ID and share button. So relative layout, match parent, wrap content, and inside this I'll add a text view, match parent, wrap content. Text will be, for now let's say meeting ID, whatever it is. You can see over here it is visible. Text color, let's give, I will give same background to this as well. So background will be my background, and I will give text color to this as white. Text size 20 sp, gravity center, and layout margin I will give around 10 dp. So you can see over here we will show meeting ID over here, and also the share button. So for share button I will create vector asset first. So go to drawable, vector asset, clip art, just take a icon, whatever you want to take. I will take this and make it complete white. This will be share button, let's say, finish. Here I will add it as an image view. So image view 32 dp, source will be share button. I will align parent in true, center in parent true, margin horizontal, I will keep some space. That's it. So we have to provide ID to this both. So this will be meeting ID text view, it will be share button image view. That's it. So here we have added this relative layout. Now the remaining space we will provide it to ZEGOCLOUD. Here ID, it should be like this. So remaining space we will provide to ZEGOCLOUD. So outside this relative layout I will just create a linear layout which will be match parent, whatever the remaining space it will get. ID will be, let's say, fragment container. That's it. And orientation, let's give anything horizontal. So this remaining space is taken by this linear layout, as you can see over here. If I give background white, you can see this is the remaining space. It will be taken by ZEGOCLOUD. That's it. So UI thing is done. Let's go to conference activity now. So we have to get the values from the previous activity. So here we will create those values. So let init var meeting ID, that will be type string. Let init var username, that will be also string. Also we have to initialize this UI. So for that, let init var meeting ID text view, which will be of type text view. And also we have share button be image view. Now we'll assign the ID over here in onCreate method. Meeting ID text view equals to find view by ID r.id.meeting ID text view. Share button find view by ID r.id.share button. Now also we have passed the values from here, that is meeting ID and username. We'll get those values over here. So in meeting ID we'll store, so from intent.get string extra, that will be meeting ID, whatever key we have given over here, .toString. Also username equals to intent.get string extra that will be username dot toString. Now this meeting ID we can show over here at the top. So for that, to this text view, what I will do, meeting ID text view dot set text meeting ID, and we'll concat this meeting ID. Whatever we pass from here, it will be displayed over there. Let's run the app now. Let's see. So if I give some random username and if I click on create meeting, it will create the random meeting ID. Let's see. You can see over here it has created random meeting ID, 10 characters. Create meeting, you can see random meeting ID. But if we input some meeting ID that we want to join, now I click on join meeting, you can see it is passing the same meeting ID whatever it is over here. So our logic is working correctly. So now in this page we have got meeting ID, also we are getting the username. So we have meeting ID, we have username. Now if you see ZEGOCLOUD code, till now we have not added any code for ZEGOCLOUD. So now if you see ZEGOCLOUD, you require app ID, we already have, app sign we already have, conference ID, that is meeting ID, user ID and username, we will pass the same for the username. Now we have to add this code, that's it, we have to run. This line of code will create our application. So what we will do, I will copy this add fragment, copy this and paste it over here. It is in Java, so we have to convert it to Kotlin. Now here app ID will be from app constant dot app ID, app sign will be app constant dot app sign, conference ID will be the meeting ID whatever we are getting, user ID will be, let's say, username, and username will be same username. Now here replace r.id.fragment container. If I build again, so something is wrong with R, we can remove this. So yes, fragment container we have already created, we have provided it to ZEGOCLOUD. Now we have to call this add fragment from onCreate, that's it. If I call add fragment, that's it. So this is the ZEGOCLOUD code. With less than 10 line of code we have integrated. Let's run either it is working or not. So here first thing what we will do, we'll create a meeting. So to create the meeting we have to give the username, let's say Tony123, and let's create and create meeting. So you can see over here it will ask the permission, give the permission. So as expected, we have conference, we have the UI that is provided by ZEGOCLOUD. You can see over here we have video option, you can turn off the video, we can turn on the video, we can mute unmute. We have speaker option, turn off the speaker. Also we have the chat option. Also you can see over here we can switch the camera. So the camera is switched, this is emulated as you can see. And we have the participants over here. If you click on this, we will have all the member. Right now we have created only the one meeting, that's why no one is here. So what I will do, I will run it on second emulator as well. Let's select second emulator and run it. So we require meeting ID. So from where we'll get the meeting ID? From here. So here you can see meeting ID over here. We can add the meeting ID to join the meeting 97413085. So here I will give the name, let's say cap123. So from here we can join the meeting. Let's click on join meeting. What happens? You can see immediately this has been joined. You can see we have two cameras, two participants. If you click over here, you can see the participants are Cap and Tony, and you can join from many devices. We have chat option also over here. If I chat over here, hi Cap, you can see over here we'll receive the message immediately. And here also you can leave the meeting. So immediately it will be reflected. So this is how it will work. With less line of code, ZEGOCLOUD has helped us to create our own video conference application by providing their SDK. So we don't have to worry how it is being coded. We have to just integrate the SDK in our application and we are good to go. Now one last thing what we will do, we have the share button over here. We will add on click to that so that we can share the meeting ID to the other user. So for that what I will do, for the share button, so share button dot set on click listener, I'll add the logic so that we can share the meeting. So we can add a message, share message equals to join meeting in easy meet. Let's give the space, let's say meeting ID. I'll concat the meeting ID and we'll use it in a intent. So share intent equals to, so intent dot apply, import this. So here action will be action intent dot action send, and we'll put the values, that will be intent dot as a intent.extra text. That will be the share message. This comma is not required, and type will be text plain. So in this way we can share, and this intent you can use at start activity. Intent.create chooser, that will be share intent, and the title will be share via, let's say. So if I run this now, so here let's create a meeting. Tony, create meeting. Now if I click on share button, you can see we have the different application button. You can share it on WhatsApp, Messenger, wherever you want, and we have this message, join meeting in Easy Meet, meeting ID, that will be this. We can copy this as well, or you can do share. So in this way it will work. So you can explore the ZEGOCLOUD. Also, if you create the account using the link in the description, you will get 10,000 free minutes, so that you can use this freely for the first 10,000 minutes. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you have any doubts and queries, please comment below. I will reply for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button before going. See you in the next video. Bye bye.